Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to break out the Glimmer hot foil system because we have the brand new kit this month. This is the Glimmer kit of the month for July 2021 and it's perfect for stash building. If you love mini slimline cards as much as I do, you're going to love this set. There are 7 hot foil plates in the set. It's called the Mini Slimline Nested Glimmer Dots, and the foil this month is a beautiful rose gold. Believe it or not, I still have the rose gold that came with my Glimmer machine. The foil seemed to last so long, and it's such a pretty color. I'm going to use the one that I had originally. It's almost gone, but I'm glad I have a backup roll just in case. So we're going to use this to create some pretty dots for our mini slimline card today. I'm using my quick trimmer to trim down a few pieces. I'm going to use the largest Nested Glimmer Dots plate, and then I'm also going to use the third from the largest. So we're going to skip a plate basically to create a background. I'm going to put one on a panel and then I'm going to put another one on a panel and we're going to pop it up. My Glimmer hot foil system has been heating off to the side here. We're going to make a little bit of room and we will scoot that in the screen so you guys can see what I'm doing. And let's get to glimmering. I'm going to take my largest glimmer plate, put it on my platform here. You always put them face up. Then you put your foil face down, and then I'm going to press the timer. When that timer, the indicator light stops flashing, that tells me that the glimmer plate's all ready to heat up and run through the die cutting machine. Well, we're going to put our sandwich on top. I already have my sandwich that works best for me. Oh, and by the way, I had just purchased some of the Glimmer cardstock. Spellbinders has a new Glimmer cardstock that's supposed to be no fail. So within a week or so, I'll be able to let you guys know how it works out as soon as it gets here. Probably for August's kit. But I'm breaking out one of my glimmer plates that I have in my stash. This is the Laurie Willison's. I hope I'm saying her name right. Laurie Willison's Thanks. It's super long, super big, and I love it. It's perfect for a mini slimline card. We're going to use that for our sentiment. And then I was going to use a regular A2 card front panel, but I thought maybe that it just might be cutting it a little too close. There's no wiggle room on that panel, so I trimmed down some larger pieces of white cardstock. The cardstock that I like to use is a pretty heavy weight. Now, when I did glimmer this piece of paper here, it shifted, so it wasn't perfectly centered, but no worries, I was going to trim it down anyway. I just trimmed it along the dotted line. Next, we're going to foil our smaller glimmer plate. Remember, we skipped one. We'll put our foil right on top and then add our cardstock, and we'll wait for this to heat up. Put our sandwich down. Oh, I was letting you know about my sandwich. I have a sandwich that works good for me. I have one piece of printer paper in there, a piece of thin cardstock folded in half, and this seems to work for me, no fail. But I know everybody's different. Your die cutting machine, depending on how much you use, it's different. So just play around with your shim plates and see if you can adjust. But this is our smaller. This one is centered pretty good, but I am going to trim it down because this is going to be set on the inside of our first dotted row. Now we'll add our thanks, and I've had this one for actually quite a while, and I think I may have picked it up at Hobby Lobby. If I can find it, I'll list the thanks below, but it's very nice. I think it's going to work perfect for our mini slimline. I'm going to take my paper trimmer and trim down our smaller dotted rectangle, and then that's all the foiling that we're going to do. I'm going to show you what this looks like with that rose gold. Isn't that so pretty? Just love that. Okay, I'm going to remove my plate, let it cool down on my cooling mat, turn the machine off, and set this aside, give me a little bit more room. And for the thanks, I'm going to go ahead and use my scissors. I'm going to fussy cut around it. This way I can add a little bit of dimension to this as well. Once this is fussy cut out, we are going to grab our mini slimline card base. We're going to make a portrait style card. the mini slimline size that I like, I say this all the time, but that's because just in case you're new, the mini slimline card that I like, the size that I like is 3¼ inches by 6¼ We're going to go ahead and add our first glimmer dot panel right in the center. Okay, next on this one, I want to add a little color behind it. I'm bringing in some Distress Oxide ink. This is Bundled Sage, and this is pretty juicy ink pad, and I was afraid I was going to put a big old blob on it, so I'm going to test it on the back, and I'm glad I did, because I did get a blob in the back. But I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of green in the background. It's not blended very well at all, but I'm going to put the thanks over it, and I just wanted a little bit of color behind that thanks, and I think the rose gold and the green go really pretty together. Okay, we're going to flip this over. I'm going to add some foam tape behind it. We're just going to remove the release paper and add this to our mini slimline card. Centering this. Lovely. Next, we're going to take our thanks. We'll flip this over. I'm going to add some foam adhesive behind this. And once we have our, I did want to add the really thin strips on the beginning of the T and the end of the S, because those are going to be overhanging. And I didn't want them to collapse when I mailed it. This is going to go, and I think I'm a little crooked. We might have to adjust this just a little bit. Okay, now it looks so plain. Of course, we got to add something to it. So I went through my dies. I was going to add flowers, but I always add flowers. But I absolutely love the birds on a branch die set. So I created 3 birds, an orange one, a yellow, and a blue. And then also there's some leaves in this die set. I'm going to go ahead and die cut out some of those. And I think it's going to go perfect for these little guys to be sitting on my thanks on my card. And the colors are just so pretty to go with that rose gold also. We're going to put one on the end of the T. We'll put one on top of the T that's crossing over. This next one, I think we're going to put it on the N. And then we have 2 sets of the leaves. When you die cut out the leaves, you have there's 3 in one die. So I die cut out 2 sets with 2 different colors of greens. But we're going to fill in our open areas with some greenery, almost as if the thanks was a branch. And I just love I mean, it's amazing what your little embellishments will do. If you don't like the birds, you can put flowers in those same colors too. I think that would look fabulous. Okay, I'm going to embellish my card a little bit. I'm using some Spellbinders Color Essential Gems. This is the Crystal Mix. And I'm just going to add a few around my background. And after I have my gems adhered, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my white gel pen. I thought we would add little dots to the belly of the birds. Since I like adding dots when there's a lot of open area, especially with a white gel pen, because it just kind of ties everything all together. But that's my project today, guys, using the brand new Glimmer Kit of the month. It's called the Mini Slimline Nested Glimmer Dots. And it's listed below. Actually, everything will be listed below if you're interested in it. But super fun. Love the shimmer of these glimmer plates. And I like this stash building set. Thanks for joining me. Have a lovely day. We'll see you again soon, guys. Bye-bye.